Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blogging ABCs. I'm Deborah Carney, and I'm joined with my co-hosts, Tricia Meyer and Liz Fogg. How is everybody today?
Very well, ladies. How are you?
Liz?
Doing great.
She's the quiet one in the background there. We got to get her to talk a little bit more. All right, so in our last podcast, we talked about doing giveaways and how to find products to give away on your blog. And we know a lot of bloggers are really interested in doing this, and some dive in head first and do what they see other bloggers doing. And what we kind of want to share on this one is some good ways to structure your contest and then how to, promote it. But first, you need to structure your giveaway in a way that you get the most benefit from it without having extraneous things. So, Tricia, why don't you get us started?
I think at the base of the whole giveaway idea for bloggers is you have to figure out first what you want to get out of it and what your time is worth. So you really need to sit down and once you've decided what that product's going to be, what the brand is going to be, sit down and make yourself a list of what you're hoping to get out of this particular giveaway. And think about the short-term things that you want to get out of it and think about the long-term benefits that you want to get out of it. And how much is your time worth? How much are you putting into this giveaway? How many backlinks are you building? How much social media are you doing for what you want to get out of it in the end? Mm-hmm. So a good place to start, I think, is with what do you want to get out of it? I mean, at the very basic, you want to get backlinks.
Traffic.
You want to get traffic to your site. You want to get people maybe leaving comments on your site. You may want to get people signing up for your newsletter. You may want to pick up Twitter followers, Facebook fans. You may want to make money. I mean, you may want this to be a sponsored giveaway where you're hoping that, the national brand is going to pay you to do the giveaway. You may just want the free products.
And one of the things that you mentioned in our talking before the show was that be a little bit careful about the newsletter signups because a lot of people now have to pay for the number of emails they send out or, depending on their mailing list service, that even though you want to build your list, you want to make sure you're going to build your list with people that are interested and that aren't just going to drop off or are not really going to pay attention to you later. So
that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started off. I had a site for moms and I was doing a giveaway of jewelry and I predicated it on signing up for my newsletter. And all of a sudden I had like a 10,000 person newsletter from nothing. But when I started looking through the list, there were a lot of men's names. And I thought, well, do they really want to get the Helping Moms Connect newsletter? Are they actually going to read it? And so the problem was that I had this great list. And when I went in and looked at my numbers, I was getting so many of them were getting bounced back because people were using bad email addresses. They were people that weren't interested in what I was sending, so they weren't actually opening any of the newsletters I was sending. They were unsubscribing as soon as the giveaway was over. I mean, it was kind of a mess. And at the time, luckily, I was doing my own in-house mailing, so it wasn't costing me anything. But now that I'm on Aweber and I'm paying per subscriber, I have to be a lot more careful about how, I tie my newsletter signups into my giveaways.
Right. So you actually want to focus more probably on, let's say, the Facebook likes and the Twitter followers and subscribing to your blog RSS.
Mm-hmm. And it also depends where you're advertising your giveaway. If your giveaway is mainly to your current list anyway, it might not hurt to add the newsletter subscription as one of the requirements to enter the contest. Okay. But if you're going out and you're putting it, I like to go to onlinesweepstakes.com when I run a giveaway. And I know that whatever I post on there, I'm going to get a lot of people signing up just because they enter every single contest listed on that website. Those are people I probably don't want on my mailing list, especially for a niche site where it's not going to do me any good to have somebody that just wants the prize but isn't interested in the content. So how you advertise your contest, may also determine whether you want to include newsletter signups.
Okay. And another thing that Liz had mentioned was on one of her contests, she had multiple sponsors, and it required a visit to the sponsor's website and answering some questions in the comments. So in that way, the sponsors knew they were getting eyeballs over on their website, whether people hung around, like you said, on online sweepstakes, if they're just coming, they'll still follow all the steps to get the maximum number of entries. So, they might inadvertently
it's true.
go to a sponsor's site and actually find something. So she did kind of like a treasure hunt type of a thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we called it. It was a treasure hunt.
We do them and call them scavenger hunts a lot at Sunshine, where we do the same thing. We might ask specific questions about, go to this merchant site and tell us, what you would buy or what you would give as a gift. Another way, if you're doing something like that, to make it personal, attach something emotional to it. If you were going to choose somebody to win something from this site, or if you were going to have a gift basket delivered or a piece of jewelry given to somebody because they deserve it. And when people write kind of emotional comments, they feel a little more attached to come back to the site, it seems.
Yeah, good idea.
Those are some of the things you might want to get out of it. You may just like getting the free products. It could very well be that, as a blogger, you don't spend a lot of time monetizing your site. Maybe you haven't gotten to that point of readership yet, or it's just not something you want to do, but you enjoy getting free products in the mail. And with some of these different sites, that you sign up with, I've had times where I was getting free products every single week, and I don't even focus on the giveaways much. I focus on the monetization of my sites, but sometimes you just get on a roll, and we've had weeks where we were getting cereal and yogurt and coupons for chicken and all these stuff coming in. And I was like, all right, I'll just keep putting up, it takes me 10 minutes to do a blog post. I'll do it. I loved getting the free products. But then all of a sudden you start to wonder what your time is worth.
Right. Is it worth the blog post to do it for a box of cereal when you could be doing it for, a product that you'll make money on down the line?
Absolutely. And are you getting what you want of the other things? Are you getting backlinks to something where you might just be giving away a box of cereal? Probably not. You're probably going to have to be giving away, substantial prizes or specific niche products in order to be getting actual backlinks to your contest.
Now, have you had people where they had to put a blog post and then link to your giveaway in the comments so that you're trying to get the backlinks that way? How are you getting the backlinks from people who enter?
I usually include that as an option.
Okay.
Most of the time when I do the giveaways, I'll say, you get one entry just for leaving a comment. You get a second entry if you tweet about the contest. You get a third one if you write a blog post and include our contest in your blog post. So I usually, they don't have to give me a backlink to enter the contest, but it would be one more way for them to have another entry into the contest. And I think in terms of SEO, I think that that's perfectly legitimate because you're not selling or you're not buying backlinks at all.
Right.
You're just encouraging people to talk about what you have going on because their readers probably want to know about the contest too.
Right. And it's a good deep link instead of just a homepage link.
Right. Right. So I think it's very clean from an SEO standpoint. You're not making them do it. You're not requiring them to enter. It's just another option for them to get another entry into the contest.
Now, how do you track your entries? I know a lot of people use a Google Doc, or is it random.org? How do you track the entries and then, draw your winners?
Because when I do them through my blogs, I just pull all of the comments out of the database. So I just pull a spreadsheet with all the comments for that particular post. So I can say, give me all comments for post 736. So that then gives me a spreadsheet that's numbered, and then I just go into random.org and pull the number for it.
Okay.
I also use the Wildfire app for when I'm, some of the giveaways that I'm doing, I'm starting to incorporate Facebook and Twitter into those contests. So I've used the Wildfire app a few times.
Okay.
And that is, a paid service, but it's also very clean. The social media is extremely easy to get more viral traffic. And you just hit a button inside there and say, pick my winners. It picks them and gives you the email addresses.
Okay. And I think that something to note for bloggers that think they want to run a contest on Facebook, Facebook does require that if you run a contest based on Facebook, that you have to use a third-party app.
Right.
That you can't just, say, hey, I'm going to give this away to the, when we hit X number of likes or something. And I know some people probably do get away with it but it is something that Facebook can shut you down for. So
absolutely, it's not worth the risk for a giveaway. For the maybe getting an extra 50 people to like your page, whatever. It's not worth the chance of having your page shut down. Just go ahead and pay for the Wildfire app. You can use the cheapest one they have. You don't have to do the custom one or white label or whatever. Just use the cheapest one that they have.
Okay.
And it'll be worthwhile if that's the route that you want to go.
Okay. Awesome. What else have you got for us?
It's interesting to me that what I'm hearing from, mom bloggers in particular, just because I don't hang out with a lot of dad bloggers, but I do hang out with a lot of mom bloggers, is that there's really become kind of a dichotomy in this giveaway issue. There are the people on the one side that are saying, you give me anything and I'll do a giveaway because that's what my sites are all about and I love doing this. And the people on the other side are really kind of putting their foot down and saying, you know what? You're not getting all of this out of me anymore. I'm not going to, there's one in particular that I don't even know what it's called anymore. It used to be called something different, but in order to enter the contest with your blog, you have to put up the blog post and you have to also put a widget in your sidebar and you have to do all these other things, and people are doing it. But you have to think about what's the value of the real estate on your site, and again, going back to what do you expect to get out of all of this. If it's just fun for you, you don't want to make any money off of it, you don't mind doing a lot of blog posts, you don't mind that you have so many blog posts that people might be missing the other posts because they're kind of muddled into all of these free yogurt and free cereal ones, that's fine. But if you're really building a mailing list and you're building a brand for yourself, I can certainly understand why some of the bloggers are stepping back now and saying, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to participate in these giveaways unless it's something really substantial where I'm a partner with you. I'm not just one of 100 bloggers that are all doing the same thing at the same time.
Right. And again, you make a good point that you're going to get everything lost. You have to remember what your blog is about to begin with. And if you're a family blogger and, doing blog posts about cereal and, a bunch of different, smaller items or just a variety of items is fine, but make sure that you're still leaving time for yourself to actually write the posts that were the purpose of your blog to begin with. Mm-hmm. Some people have blogs that are just giveaways, which is fine, but how are you building your own personal brand by just having a giveaway blog? Make sure you put some real content in there as well.
Right. And what are you getting out of it? Are you just putting in the time because it's fun and that's fine? Or are you hoping eventually to monetize the site, or are you monetizing it but wish you were making more off of it? Think about what you want to get out of it and how these giveaways play a part in it. And I love the giveaways in the right circumstances, but I just want bloggers to be really careful, how they run them, and make sure that you're partnering with somebody that's legitimate, because I've heard a lot of stories where people have done a giveaway and then the products were supposed to be sent out to the winners. They were never sent. And now the winners are posting on your blog saying you reneged, you lied, I'm going to report you because I didn't get my prize. So You've got to make sure that who you're working with is legitimate, or get the items from them before you run the giveaway so that you've got them in your hands.
Yeah, we've actually done that with a couple of blogs where, even though it was going to cost us for the postage, we had them, we had the company send us the products, mm-hmm. so that we were responsible for sending out the prize winner. And there was a couple reasons for that. One, like you said, to make sure that the prize was actually going to get delivered. And two, that way we didn't have to disclose the winner's information to, it's more of a privacy thing. So
right.
We didn't, some will ask for the winner's information and, want to be able to contact them themselves. But in general, the brands don't really care where it's all going. They just, want it gone. So want the exposure. So we did do that with some giveaways we did on a couple of sites, and it was some substantial, it was kind of heavy products, but we got to put our own branding in the box, and the prize came from, us and our website.
Oh, that's nice.
Instead of, just being mailed anonymously from the company that did the giveaway.
That's an interesting consideration. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Just one more reason to do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I can understand a lot of bloggers that do a lot of giveaways not wanting to carry the cost of the postage, but, if you factor in that you can do some branding along the way and sell something else that you have, tuck in a flyer or whatever, you can actually leverage that.
The one final thing that I'd want to mention is just to throw it out there to make sure that you've got, your good disclosure and privacy statements on your site. And that, of course, could be a whole nother podcast.
Which we actually do need to do, because I've got a lot of people that are asking me. We have a merchant that we manage that requires a privacy statement. And a lot of bloggers are like, what is it? Why do I... they don't have newsletters or whatever, and they're thinking, well, I don't take any personal information. So, yes, there needs to be a whole podcast in and of itself to cover the disclosure statements and the privacy and why it's important and why it's getting more important every day.
Absolutely.
So, all right, any closing thoughts, Tricia, Liz?
I think you've heard enough from me this time.
Well, it was really good information, and you're the one who, we've done a few, and we've done them as the merchant, and, as a merchant, we knew what we wanted to get out of it, and we would have liked sales, but we're fine with the branding and the backlinks and the feedback, and, Liz's sponsors were happy with the branding and the feedback and the, whatever, so, I think just getting people, I think the big thing is to, like you said, don't overabund unless your blog is focused on giveaways, don't have every single post be a giveaway, and be selective, which will make your blog more, people will pay attention more if you're not just throwing everything out there. So, all right, Tricia, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Sunshine Tricia.
And what your website?
Oh my. If you come to Tricia.me, you can contact me and find all the other sites that I have as well.
Good. Cool. Liz?
You can find me on Twitter at Team Loxley Liz.
And one of your websites is mypageantplace.com?
Yes, mypageantplace.com. It's a membership site for people interested in the pageant industry.
So, very cool. And if you're listening to us on iTunes and you want to go see our show notes where we'll have some links to some of this stuff, some of the places that Liz and Tricia both referenced, go to bloggingabcs.com. And we want to thank geekcast.fm for hosting our shows. And you can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/bloggingabcs. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and have a great day.
You too.